This is the
All right, look at this. We're on time today. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Tuesday, December 21st. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by HockeyPicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. Follow the top pickers each and every day right here at HockeyPicks.com. This is where I put my selections. In fact, when you look at the top scorers right now, the top scorer at HockeyPicks.com, we got a new leader. It's Gary Unger, Patrick Klein at 823. Mags, Dom at 823 also, so we got a tie for first place between Gary and Dom, and the Chuck 5250, and that's not a, sounds like a Van Halen album, right? The Chuck 5250, but I think it's 5252, yeah, 5250 is the album. So the Chuck 5252 is in third place at 783, and your top pickers right here at HockeyPicks.com. Anytime you go 4-0 or better, you will pick up a mini Stanley Cup, and there I got 5 of them right here. Ron Raymond. Nicholas Scott's got 4. Louis Lovett's got 4. You got Bash 15's got 4. So those are your top pickers right now at hockeypicks.com, and also bballpicks.com. People put in their picks here at bballpicks.com. In fact, let's take a look at our top scorers right now at bballpicks. Zach Reed is in the lead at 800. Miss Denica, 776. Haven't seen Denica in a while. And on the leaderboard, and it's Maine's World. Jermaine Brown, 772 with Eddie O in fourth place, but Jermaine Brown, 772, is in third spot. All right, let's take a look here at the hottest top pickers, and it's our good friend from Portugal, Rui Pedro Nogueira. Has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Kobe Awards. The Terminator's got 5. And we got a lot of people with 4 here. You got Justin, you got Artie, the one-man party, and Eddie O right here with 4 Kobe Awards. And good morning to Ball Cash and Quentin Johnson, 2 of our members here at the Rain Report. Good morning, guys. I thought I'd surprise everybody this morning, and I started my software a little bit early, so this way I wanted to make sure that we were able to get into the on time. I like to be on time, right? Yeah, so it looks like the software fixed it, everything. Spent a lot of day yesterday just trying to get everything in sync and organized for the so this way when we get on the show at 10:30, we don't keep people waiting until 11, right? That's one of my pet peeves. All right, so good morning, everyone. How you doing? My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I'm the owner and founder of ATSstats.com and the Raymond Report, and I wrote a book in 2009 called Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets. In fact, if you go to the website, ATSstats.com, you can see my book. If you want to purchase this, you know what, maybe a little good reading during the Christmas holidays. And if you want to learn about the Raymond Report sports betting system, go to Tools, go to ATS Tutorials. And I do have my tutorials right here on the Raymond Report, something that I'm always tinkering with. And you know what? Yesterday I talked about the STP, the Situation Timing Position of teams, and we're going to talk about that again today. And you know what? It's all about the market. It's all about timing. It's all about percentage play. And I'll say it all the time, right? You don't buy Bitcoin every day. You don't buy Tesla every day. You don't buy Microsoft every day. You got to pick your spots in the market. And sports betting is exactly the same thing. And I'm going to start doing more videos on situational playing in the sports betting, right? Things about like in spread sports. When people are introduced to spread sports, when you're betting the favorites in spread sports, there's 2 things you got to consider. The favorites got to win, and they also got to cover the spread, right? I'm going to show you percentage plays on how to be selective and why do we need to play the point spread. I know, because who says, where's the gambling Bible that says you got to bet the point spread because Stone Cold said so type thing, right? Hey, speaking of Stone Cold, I love his commercials, right? That guy needs to chill out. I love those commercials. Yeah, maybe we'll get Stone Cold commercial here one day, right? That'd be awesome. Yeah, who says, right? Who says you got to bet, because it's the point spread, and I'm going to show you numbers that if you just, sometimes in life, you got to, swim against the currents. You got to see things in a different light to really, and one of the things that's really hard to break in life is habits, right? One of the hardest things to do and break is some of your habits, and we'll get into some of your sports betting habits on how maybe you can slowly change the way you approach your sports betting. That's the goal of the show, right? The goal of the show, we got to get to the winner's circle at the end of the night, and then we get to the winner's circle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and what do we get? We get a cash out Monday, right? That's the goal of the show, but during the process, we're going to learn more about sports betting, and like in Malcolm Gladwell's book, I think it was Blink. Was it Blink or Tipping Point, where he says, once you put 10,000 hours into something, you start seeing things a little bit more clear, right? So I see Gloria K is in the house. Good morning, Gloria. Hope your dad's doing a little bit better today. Rui Pedro Nagaria, hello once again. Just learning, says Rui. Sniper's in the house. How you doing, Sniper? And there's our triplet from the ATL. There's Mark Nation. Hey, we got a lot of Georgia representation here in the bullpen today, so that's pretty good to see. But again, folks, welcome. And there's OG Wheat. Almost missed my good friend Ujay and Luigi Vatage right here. Good morning, Luigi, and thanks for tuning in to the Rain Report. And there's my good friend, it's a Maine's World, Jermaine Brown, who's now one of the leaders at bballpicks.com. All right, hey, the bullpen's hopping, I'm hopping, and we're stumbling into the bullpen, so it's always a good thing, right? And again, folks, if you do like the show and you enjoy what you learn, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to the VIP club or be part of the Breakfast Club. If you look below this button here, you're going to see a join. And if you click the join button, you're going to see you can join and support the site with the Breakfast Club. And there's also the computer picks, so always appreciate when people do support the channel. All right, there's my good friend from Saskatchewan. Corner Gas is in the house. Corner Guy's still alive. I like it better one game at a time. $2 bets, all I can afford each time. Winter stuff, says Corner Gas. We call him Corner Gas because he's from Saskatchewan, and there's was it Letterkenny? Is it the Corner Gas? The show, there's Letterkenny and Corner Gas that are pretty big TV shows up here north of the border. And that's right, I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Nice sunny day here today. It's amazing when the sun's shining, your mood changes, right? It's just an amazing thing the way that works. All right, what do we got here on tap here today? We got a good show for you guys here today. We're going to talk about the SPI, the Market Value Index, the Parity Value Index, and you're going to see on the front page of ATS, I did this is one thing I'm going to do each and every morning. It's called the Raymond Report Value and Percentage Play Chart. I'm going to go through that today. We're going to break down the NFL game of the day, the Seahawks and the Rams. We're going to talk about the Lightning and Golden Knights, and then we'll have the Raymond Report breakdown on the Suns and Lakers. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to pick one game per day using the full Raymond Report right here at the website, atsstats.com, and I'm going to break down the game and give you a bit of information on those games and tell you where I'm probably leaning or picking. And then the newest tool that I invented, the STP, the Situational Timing Position. And here's the thing, you got to ask this question. Ask yourself this one question when you're handicapping a game. Does the situational timing position of this team a good bet today? And as I said at the top of the show, right? When you're buying stocks, you're not buying stocks every day. And, there's a certain time to buy stocks. You buy low, you sell high. And that's the same mentality you got to take in sports betting. And think of every team as an asset, right? Every team's an asset. And in stocks, you got your blue chip stocks and your medium stocks, and so on and so forth. And the markets, right? When you think of the markets, you think of the bullish teams, the bearish teams, and the neutral teams. And I'm going to show you guys in the Rain Report when is a good time to pull the trigger on some of those teams that are neutral. And speaking of neutral, those two games that were neutral last night, both underdogs won those games. So if you recall, Boston, Philadelphia, Philly won that game as a neutral team versus another neutral team. And then the San Antonio Spurs, which I gave in my pick here yesterday on the B-ball picks, they won against the Clippers as a neutral team too. So something hopefully will convert you guys to start thinking of when you're sports betting. STP, that's all you got to say to yourself. What's STP? Situational Timing Position of Teams. All right, let me see here. We got some people in the house. There's my good friend Isaiah. How you doing, Isaiah? Hey, Isaiah, what happened to your Minnesota Wild yesterday? Hey, we plugged them on hockey picks, and they go on a 4-game losing streak. Not a good time to go on a 4-game losing streak. Gloria K says it's sunny here in Chicago, but very cold. Yeah, she has a little chilly blue face there, and you can see the teeth are chattering there. I guess Gloria cold. No golfing today, eh, Gloria in Chicago? Hey, I guess Gloria K put her clubs away today, and her son is a PGA golfer. Hey, it's always good to be well connected here in the bullpen. So maybe whenever we get out of this COVID crap, we can all go watch Gloria K's son play some golf, and we'll all meet up at the 19th, right? We'll all meet up at the 19th hole, and then you guys can have beers, but I'll have coffee. I had the over in the Wild game last night, says Isaiah Moore. All right, let's get on with the show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And again, hit those like button and share the podcast. If you enjoy this podcast and it's making you money or it's giving you knowledge, why not share the wealth, right? Share the wealth, help out the channel, and just hit that share button. Put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, Facebook, wherever your social media accounts are, and let's get more people into the bullpen. And John X says, yeah, beautiful day in the nation's capital, and that's where I'm located, right here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. All right, let's get on with the show, and let's talk about the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and I'm going to always use the website to bring the tools. And Sniper, you're going to be happy here. The Rain Report button is gone here. Hey, Sniper's he's got, his ADD was kicking in yesterday, right? And he didn't like that Rain Report button right there. But that's what I love about him. He's very on top of it. Good morning, Mitchell. There's Mitchell Watson. He's in the house. Good morning, Ron. Share it on my Twitter every day, and we thank you for that, Mitchell Watson. I believe, Mitchell, you're from Beantown, right? Boston? Hey, so we got a lot of good followers here and users here from the Beantown. Hey, are you a Bruins fan there, Mitchell? I think he is. All right, let's go to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and let's take a look what came in last night in the NBA and last night in the National Basketball Association. Wow, look at this. The last couple nights has been nights for the old Seinfeld episode, Even Steven, right? 3-3 last night, the favorites and the underdogs, 1-5 to the under. Now, what we do in this segment, folks, is we always check out what has come into the markets. It's like waking up and put on your CNBC, your Fox Business News, or whatever channel you go get your business reports from. And what's the first thing you do? What's the Dow Jones doing, right? And this is my Dow Jones. This is what I'm looking to see, what the market's done yesterday. And yesterday, the markets told me that it was a good day for the unders, as in the NBA, 1-5 to the under, 2-4 to the underdogs. So the underdogs have now carried the day the last 2 days. If you look at the last 2 days, 80% of the underdogs in the NBA have covered the spread, and this is why you got to keep your finger on the pulse and know what's coming in, so this way you don't get caught with your pants down and say, hey, how come I didn't know the underdogs were coming in? And man, I'm playing favorites all the time, and it's always underdogs coming in, right? So this is why every day I do the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and I look at the 7-day average, because the 7-day average will tell me how much money I should be betting. Now, looking at the favorites straight up in the NBA, 64.3% of the favorites have come in the last 7 days, 35.9. Now, we're talking straight up. And look at this. For the point spread, 48.1. So, NBA favorites in the last 7 days, 64.3% on the straight up factor, but only covering 48.1% of the games. And the underdogs having a little bit better time, 51.9 compared to 35.9. So we are in a neutral state when it comes to point spread for the NBA. And when you're looking at the over-unders, we're still doing overs here. But you know what? Last night was an under night, but look at the 7-day average. 59.7% of the overs have come in the last 7 days. And last night we only had one NHL game, so it's going to play around with the the numbers a bit. Obviously 100%. But we'll look at the 7-day average. We've got 2 NHL games here tonight. We've got the Capitals and the Flyers, and we've got the Lightning and the Golden Knights. But on the 7-day average, 70.3% of the favorites have come in the last 7 days in the NHL. But on the year, 62.3%. So you can see we are maybe oversold market right now for favorites in the NHL. So what goes up must come down. And you look at the over-unders, 58.3% compared to 51.7% on the year, and that's a 7% difference on the 7-day average, and we are in a bullish market for the overs. All right, I see a couple new people coming into the bullpen. There's Adamix Tanks. God bless Raymond and the bullpen. Hey, God bless you, Adamix Tanks. Thank you for tuning in. Caps Flyers first period over, says coming from Metro Detroit. Oh, you're from Metro Detroit. Okay, there we go. Hey, the Red Wings are looking pretty good. And, hey, if the NFL started last Sunday, you'd be wanting to know what the Lions, right, Mitchell? All right, the Raiders covered 2, says Adamix Tanks. And but big fan of the Bo Sox and the Pats since I was a wee boy before they were winning championship, says Mitchell Watson. Now we know the rest of the story. Okay? All right, that's good to know. All right, let's take a look also at the market value index. So that's the SBI, the sports betting index, and let's take a look at the market index. So this is more of the the micro and macros, right? So what I look here on the market index is I look at team by team. So think of the league being a macro and each team is micro, and we're trying to figure out which teams are the A, B, and C type teams in the Rain report, right? So in the Rain report, teams that are A, those are teams that we classify as A-type teams with a winning percentage of 60% or higher. And when you see the green, that means these teams are bullish. And right now, well, there's only one B team in the bullish market, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. They are 5-2 in their last 7. And when you look at the B teams here, the B market teams, so you got, let me see here. Only Washington is bearish right now. Every other team, aside from Memphis, is neutral. So when you're looking at those B-type teams, and Bill Parcells said it, he made a living doing this. You are what your record says you are. And when you think about this, when you're handicapping sports, there's so many factors, there's so many things that you include into your handicapping, like scoring averages, over under. The record tells you everything. When you think about it, this here, the A, B, and C, will tell you everything you need to know about that team. The scoring average, the winning streaks. It's just, I say it all the time. Like sometimes we're just trying to find the caramel secret, and sometimes it's right there in front of our eyes, but we just don't see it sometimes, right? So the one thing that I can tell you from experience, put a lot of stock into this column right here, the grades of the teams. Think of the grade of your steak, right? A, B, and T says, and think of these as steak, right? You like a grade A steak or a triple A steak, right? Well, here's your steaks right here. Every team with an A, those are the teams that they'll bring you to the dance, and you'll be happy because at the end of the day, they're A-type teams. They got a winning percentage of 60% or higher, and these type teams here, the C-type teams, it's really tough to fall in love with these type of teams because you're putting a lot of faith and money into teams and you're expecting them to do good things, and it never happens, right? When you expect bad teams to do good things, it never rarely happens. So these are your C-type teams right now in the Rain report, and the only team that's hot right now in the teams below 500 is the Toronto Raptors, and 14-15 on the year, but they are on standby since the COVID situation. Right here with the cross-border stuff going on in Canada. Hopefully we can get that settled really soon because at the end of the day, it disrupts every industry, not even just sports, right? Let's take a look at the NHL. And while we're doing this, I'm going to see what some of you guys are saying here in the bullpen. And OG Wheat says, ball cash. Let's get those cash. There's a little ATL love right there going on. I like that. Gloria K, hope everything is working out for you. What's up, OG? Says the sniper. All right, here's the NHL and what we're looking now. These are your A-type teams in the NHL, and so what I'm looking for when I do the A-type teams in the NHL is I'm looking to see which team is bullish, bearish, and neutral. And the Edmonton Oilers, even though I can't remember if they won. I think they won their last game, but they're only 2-5 in their last 7, and that's why they are bearish. They're the only A team that is bearish right now. Every other team is either bullish or neutral. And in the B-type teams, you got Dallas, San Jose, and Columbus. Big win last night for the Dallas Stars, but they are still a bit bearish as they are 2-5 in their last 7 games. And the only team that's hot in the C-type teams, it's the Vancouver Canucks. And they're on a, let me see here, 6-1 in their last 7. So we'll see if they can turn things around under Bruce Boudreau. All right, let's go to the PVI SOS. And what I'm going to do in this segment is I'm going to take a look. You like the Lightning to win today, Ron? Yeah, you know what? Lightning against Vegas. I'll be honest with you, Isaiah. I haven't really looked at the numbers yet, but I do know just the top of my head. Vegas had a long extended road trip on the East Coast, and now they're going back home. And Tampa Bay, I don't know if I really trust Tampa Bay on the road against those A-type teams, but we will take a look at that. But my early lean, I would have to say Vegas, but it could change in the New York Minute, right? All right, let's go to the PVI SOS. And what I do in this segment is I'm going to pick one game from each, and one of each league. And I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I look at. And the PVI SOS stands for Parity Value Index. So you see up here, PVI SOS, Parity Value Index, Strength of Schedule. And what I do, and you see this all the time, right? When people talk about teams, they can beat those A-type teams, or they can't beat those A-type teams, and if they play teams that look like them, they do okay, and then they say they always lose against C-type teams, right? So how does a team do against teams with winning percentages, medium winning percentages, and below 500 teams? And this is what the Parity Value Index Strength of Schedule tool tells us each and every day. All right, so this here is let me see, did I get Phoenix? This is on Phoenix, right? So Phoenix is 7-point favorite tonight against the Lakers. 223.5 is the total. Now let's take a look. When the Phoenix Suns face a B team like the LA Lakers on the road, and let's see what their record is. So anytime Phoenix is on the road against those B-type teams, so teams here, that the B-type teams, we're talking about the Clippers, New York, Cleveland, Memphis, Sacramento. Sacramento back in they were a B-type team on November 8th. Their record is 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the point spread, and 2-3 to the under. And the average score is 112 to 104 for the Phoenix Suns. So normally they got them winning by 8. And look at the number, right? The number's on 7 or 7.5 or something like that. No, 7. And the total, if you combine this total right here, it's 216.4, and that under the total of that. Now the average line for the Phoenix Suns, and look at that, they've always been a favorite on the road against those B-type teams. So this is why I talk about perception versus reality, right? What's the perception? The perception is Phoenix is a 7-point favorite, and normally they're a 4, like 3.9. You round it off to 4, so that's a 3-point difference right there on the perception meter, right? So when you think about the Phoenix Suns, and they normally win by 8, and the average total the bookmakers put on Phoenix Suns game against B-type teams is 217. So when you take this 217 and you look at this 223, we're talking a 6.5 difference on the perception meter, right? So that's a big margin of error right there. And I like things when they're very, very tight, because now there's a 6% perception error margin of error on the total on the perception meter. And when you look at the perception meter of the favorites, it's 3.9 to 7. So the bookmakers are really off in this one. But keep in mind, is this an overreaction to AD being out? AD is going to be out. That's a big piece of the puzzle, right? When you lose one of your big men in the NBA, that is huge. But we do have a 4-1, 3-2 record, and the over/under is at 2-3, right? Let's take a look at the Lakers PVI SOS, and let's take a look at this number. Good take, Vegas money, says Daryl Turner and his other brother Terrell. Hey, I love saying that. Bob Newhart, remember Bob Newhart? Those brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl. Every time I see Daryl Turner, I always think of that. So don't take it personally, Daryl, and your other brother Daryl. Hey, Coach, I'm sorry I'm late. No problem, Johnny. Welcome to the show. And let's take a look at the Lakers at home against those A-type teams. So let's see how the Lakers do against the alpha teams at home this year: Chicago, Miami, Cleveland, Memphis, Golden State. Now the Lakers 3-2 straight up against teams above 60%, but 2-3 against the number. But look at this, 4-1 to the over. Now looking at the perception line, normally they are an underdog in this spot of 3.7. So when they're an underdog against the A-type teams, look at that, 3.7. So again, 4% margin error on the perception meter. And when you look at the final score, it's normally 229. And Phoenix, even though it's not like Golden State, where Golden State, if Steph Curry goes off one night, he can get 50 points by himself. But again, without AD, what's this team going to look like tonight, right? The over, let me see here, the over, 4-1. We got this one here. I think the over is and 220.9 is the perception, the average total on games for the Lakers against those A-type teams, and the bookmaker is just bumping it up a bit. Maybe the bookmaker is aware that there's high-scoring games for the Lakers against those A-type teams, so you might want to consider the over tonight when it comes to the Lakers and the Phoenix. All right, let's take a look at the NHL and the PVI SOS. And Daryl Turner says he likes Wyoming and UTSA in college football today. Also the Eagles and Ram. And Ron, not a problem. I'm used to it, especially in high school. That's funny. All right, here we go. PVI SOS, and the game of the night we'll do Washington and the Philadelphia Flyers. And we'll take a look at the Capitals right now. Capitals, a B-type team, up against the Flyers, a C-type team. Disappointing year if you're a Flyers fan, right? Not a good year. Now, Washington is the home team here tonight. Are they? Wait a minute. Is Washington home or away? No, Washington should be away. Yeah, there we go. They're away in Philly. I don't trust Washington on the road. That's one thing I do. I don't trust them on the road. How many times have we seen the Capitals just, give up a lot of goals on the road, right? So the Washington Capitals playing the Flyers here tonight, and when they play C-type teams, they are 4-2 straight up and 4-2 to the over. The average score is 4-3 for Washington. Now, when Washington's on the road and they're a favorite against those C-type teams, the average line is 165. So when the Washington Capitals are playing those C-type teams, it's normally 165. And look at that, 141 tonight. So there's almost a $20 difference in the line. And let me go down here. And the average total is 6. And what's the total tonight? The total in tonight's game is 5.5. Wow. That's a and you know what? I don't trust goaltending on the Phillies side. And who's in nets tonight? Is it Carter Hart or is it Jones? So I'll have to take a quick look here on my chart. And let's see here tonight. Martin Jones looks like he's confirmed, and he's 5-4 in the year, 3.3 goals against average. Now we saw that game against Washington, Chicago. Was it Sunday night, I believe, or Sunday or last Friday? I can't remember. It was over the weekend. And Washington, it was last Thursday. I think it was last Thursday. Washington and Chicago. We had the over in that game. It was 1-0 for like middle of the second period. Go to the washroom, come back, it's 3-1. They scored 3 goals in 34 seconds. It was just one of those crazy games, right? So right now, looking at Washington. Washington does look good, but Philly, again, C-type team. Can you trust a C-type team against a B-type team? And I'll look at my STP chart in just a few minutes during the show, and I'll let you know what I think. But when I'm doing this segment, I'm just telling you guys the facts, right? The perception, reality, and how these teams, and this is part of the handicapping process of research, right? It's we're doing our research, so this way, research and development and R&D. We're doing a little bit of R&D before we make a final decision on our selection. All right, let me see here. So we got Washington. Is this okay? Let me go. No, Philadelphia at home against a B-type team. 2-2 straight up. 3-1 on the puck line, if you like the puck line. And look at the average score, 2.7 to 2.7. So that's why maybe the bookmakers got a 5.5 here, because they see that they're playing a B-type team. And normally, but if you do the math, that's what, 5.4, right? So it's right there on the line. But, man, can get tighter than that. 2.7 to 2.7. The average line for the dog, 108, and it's 120. So it's close. There's your margin of error is like $12 right there. And over-under, man. My first reaction would be Philly and the over. Washington over. But I don't know if I trust Washington these days on the road. That's my initial take on that. And then we got the, so we did NBA and NHL. All right, I see a few questions here. Hey, Coach, yesterday you mentioned it's tough to bet ponies. As a kid, my uncle took me to Belmont often and said the only way to make money at the track is assume seeing the horse live helps bet. Is what money at the track? I assume seeing the horse live helps bet. Oh yeah, no. If you're there and you're live, but it's still tough, right? But the thing in horse racing. Oh, I forgot to give you guys the speaking of horse racing, today's free tip sheet of the day. Thanks for reminding me there, Johnny. The free horse tip sheet of the day is Turf Paradise. That's right. I think where is that? Phoenix. I think Turf Paradise is in Phoenix. So I used Turf Paradise today as the free tip sheet. Always given Parks and Penn and Gulfstream. So I said, hey, let's change it up here today a bit, and let's go west, young man. And we're gonna go to Turf Paradise, and there's post time today at Turf Paradise is 2:25, and we're getting close to my horse racing season. Right now that NFL and CF college football is calming down, now you get a little bit more free time. I like to bet a couple of bucks on the ponies during the afternoon. Just, and one of the things I do is I get my my television screen. I got 4 screens, and I just jump around to the tracks, right? So if you're a member of ATS and you want to jump around and see which horse to recommend, so let's say today you're doing the horse racing, then you got all these tracks right here: Turf Paradise, Penn National, Parks, Mahoning Valley, Evangeline Downs, Delta Downs, and you jump around. Hey, jump around like they do in Wisconsin there, the fourth quarter. And you jump around to the horse tracks, and you bet your ponies, right? And don't go crazy. don't go crazy on the ponies because it's a tough way to make a living. All right, that is the PVI SOS and your horse racing. Now, as I said at the top of the show, and again, the show, we changed the format of the show. As I said yesterday, any website that is in the stats business, it could be covers, it could be StatFox, it could be, stats, and you're dealing with the point spread, the favorites will always, the stats and the analytics will always cater towards the favorites, right? And the thing is, favorites and the analytics are good. The forecasts are good. And every day I was giving you guys the computer picks, which I still do, and I still give them out on the Raymond Report on the YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see the computer picks are there. But the thing I don't like sometimes with the computer pick, they tend to favor 90% of the time to the favorites, right? And to me, it's a good indicator. But it's not what I want. It's not what I want to give out as a handicapper, right? I want to give you guys value, percentage play, and the performance cycles. And if I just give out the computer pick every day, I might as well just put on my big glass of milk right here and some chalk and just give you guys all the chalk and milk all day so you can wash it down, right? But changing the style of the show a bit, more to the new STP version, right? Situational timing position of games and scores. And again, I'm going to nail this I'm going to hammer it home. STP, situational timing position of teams in the markets. Sorry for being poor, but I'd love to join one day. That's okay. No problem. K-Win Bets. I like the Pistons and Pacers today. Take the points as K-Win Bets. All right, K-Win, thanks for sharing that. Appreciate that. And let me see, did I miss anything here? Rui Pedro Nageria, I just like saying his name, from Lisbon, likes the over in Washington today, and I guess he's talking about the Washington Capitals, or I don't think the Wizards are playing today, right? All right, good luck to all, says Chad, and he's showing his cash sign. All right, so here's a little chart that I'm going to try to do every day for you guys, and this is my value and percentage play chart. Now, what I did is I went into the Rain Report, and I went and grabbed all the, so if you go to the Rain Report, here, let me just bring up another thing here. So I'm going to make life easy for you guys, hey, like I always do. All right, so let me go to my chart here, and I'll go to NBA. So before I get into the spill, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So I grabbed every matchup, and I talk about value, percentage play, and the performance cycles, right? Well, this chart here is going to be based mostly on value and the percentage play of a game, right? I think when you think about it, 60% of my thinking of sports handicapping, and when I'm thinking about doing my bet, is based on the fundamentals of value and percentage play, right? Because at the end of the day, A, B, and C type teams all have winning percentage to them. And when I look at Detroit against New York, now going into this game, the Pistons, a 9.5-point road underdog, New York 9.5-point home favorite. Total in this game is 207. Now, if you look here, Cal stands for chances of winning, L and dash average, league average, COC, chance of covering, league average, Kogu, and league Kogu. Now, what I did in this column right here, the league average, is I went and I got all the averages right here. Chance of winning, 75%. Chance of covering, 56. Chance of going under, 34. And when you click on this right here, it's going to tell you when any NBA team since 1996 is in the exact situation the Knicks are tonight against the Pistons. So as a 7 to 10 point home favorite, totals between 205, coming off a loss and a straight up ATS loss, that is their win percentage. Now, and the win percentage, the chance of covering, and that's all the teams. This is what we call a league system stat, okay? Now, if I look at over here, so if you're wondering, Ron, where do you get this league average of 79.2? Now, chances of winning, that's based on every other team since 1996, and New York's in this situation tonight. They have a 75.7% chance of winning tonight against Detroit. But what's the league average? So when I go over here on my other chart, now the Pistons this evening are a 9-point favorite, right? So when I go look here, any team that's a 7 to a 9.5 point favorite, look at their chances of winning, 85.2%. Every NBA team this year in the NBA that's a 7 to 9.5 point favorite, they are 29-5 straight up. but against the point spread, 20-14, which is still pretty good. And this is why I was saying at the beginning of the show, you know, when I look at the straight up factor and an ATS factor, why do I need to bet ATS factor all the time, right? You're asking two different things. You're asking me to win and cover, where the underdog, you just got to cover, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the way you're wagering. Now, going back to my chart here, so when I look at the league average, 79.2, right? So when I look at the league average of teams right here, favorites of 7.5, or is it right here? 85, or boom, boom, boom. Hopefully I didn't mix it up here. All right, 79.2, the league average of 9.5. Hopefully I didn't mess it up here. All right, 79.2. Crap. Don't tell me I took the wrong one. Let me see here. 9.5. 85.2%. All right. Here we go. 85.2. 79.2. Oh, okay. I know what I did. I didn't take the, I took away the, okay. I know what I did. All right. So looking back here, 9.5, 207. Now the value index here, yellow means that they're, when you look at this team, or maybe, am I in the right, let me see here. That's why. I'm in the NFL. I knew I was something wrong here. I was saying, okay, this is not cutting it here. I was in the NFL. Let me go back to the NBA. Hey, just bear with me, guys. We'll get the NBA up here. But looking at the value play, so I'm going to talk about value right now. So when you look at the yellow, and I'm comparing my value index right here with the Detroit. So 9.12 is my line, and I compare this line to the bookmaker. So we got fair market value if you like Detroit. But if you like the New York Knicks, I had them at plus 1.53, so they're overvalued tonight against Detroit. So I'm looking for value, right? So I'm looking for, or fair market value. I prefer fair market value because that way I know if I got two teams like this here and two yellows, then I know I got fair market value from a market psychology point of view. Now, let me see if this is here. All right, perfect. So yeah, here we go. All right, so we had 68.04. So let me hear 68 point. So New York. No, don't tell me. All right. So let me see here. 9.5. Let me go back here. Favorites. 43.3%. Okay. So 43.3. Man, I messed it up. Crap. All right. I don't know what I did wrong here. I think I put in the wrong number. But you know what? I'll just do it this way. All right. So we got 9.5, and the chances of winning is 75% for the New York Knicks. And if you look at Detroit, we got them at 23.4. Now, if I look at Indiana, they're a 2.5 point favorite tonight. The overvalued. And you got Miami, who's fair market value. So we got good value here on the Miami Heat. And 50% chance of winning for Indiana compared to 37.2 for Miami this evening. But Miami's got a lot of guys out, right? And when you look at Portland and New Orleans, we got a 40% chance of winning tonight for Portland compared to 48.1 for the New Orleans Pelicans. And -1, so they're a bit overvalued here tonight. I had a 5.28, so they're overvalued. And then you got Minnesota, Dallas. I got 63.3% chance of winning for Dallas compared to 35.7 for the Minnesota Wild. And the Phoenix Suns, we're looking at Phoenix right here, 76.1% chance of winning tonight against the Lakers compared to 20% for the Lakers. Lakers have good value here tonight. I had them at plus 0.94. So fair, good market value here tonight on the Lakers, but fair market value on the Phoenix Suns. So the teams that I feel you have fair market value tonight, and that's what I look for. I look for teams that are in yellow. So the fair market value teams, I'm talking about Minnesota, Dallas, and the Phoenix Suns. And if you look at here, the chances of winning, you got 75 for the Knicks. You got 50% for the Pacers, 48.1 for New Orleans, 63.3 for Dallas, and 76.1% for the Phoenix Suns. Now, let me take a look, make sure I got this one right here. So Phoenix is a 7-point favorite this evening, a road favorite. So 7-point favorite against the point spread, 43.3%. And let me see what I did here. Did I get 43.3? I don't know what I did here. I must have messed that up somehow. All right. So anyways, I'll re-update the website. So check the website after the show, and I'll update this column right here. But if you are a member of ATS, all you got to do is look at this column right here, 6.5 to 9, And this is the straight up column, and this is the ATS, and that's the over-under column. So let's take a look at the NHL. So the NHL right now, we'll look at the value. So I got the Capitals at minus 140, and you can see their good value at 135, and also good value on Philly. I had them at plus 104, and you're getting plus 115. So good value here on both these teams. Same thing with Tampa Bay and Vegas. I had Tampa at minus 217, and you're getting plus 110. But that's a big margin difference right there. Minus 217 to 110, and then 168 to 132, right? So you can get good value on Vegas. So good value on both these hockey teams here tonight. Now the chances of winning, I had Philadelphia at 62.8% chance of winning compared to 53.5% for Washington. So if you like the home dog, and if you look at the rain report, the forecast, and we'll go over here, and we'll bring up that game, the NHL game between the Washington and Philadelphia. So you can see here, 62.8% and 53.5% for the Washington Capitals. And Tampa Bay, 60% chance of winning for Tampa today. And for Vegas, 53.3%. So Tampa Bay does have a nice chance of winning. They got value. And you know what? Vasilevsky always gives you a chance, right? When you look at the starting lineup, Robin Leonard, Vasilevsky. The only thing I don't like about Vegas is they had a long extended road trip in the East Coast, and now this is their first Western, but they're on a good run, right? I think they won it by a shootout against New Jersey on Sunday. So, all right, let's take a look at NFL. We got 2 NFL games here tonight. And looking at the odds on tonight's game, the Eagles 6.5, the over-under is set at 42.5. Eagles overvalued here tonight. I had them at minus 2.28, so they're overvalued at 6.5. And looking at the Washington Capitals, I had them at 4.5, and you're getting plus 6.5. So Washington, the football team, you're getting good value on the football team tonight, but a lot of COVID numbers, right? I think they got 17 players out or something like that, and this is why you're seeing a big line like this. Now the chance of winning does favor the Eagles at 68.5. And the chances of winning for the game between the Rams and the Hawks, 80% chance of winning for the Hawks. But look at the chance of covering, 36%. And when you look at this, and we'll go to the NFL, I'll bring up my NFL numbers. This is a big separation number right here. 80% chance of winning, but only 36.06% chance of covering. And that means any NFL team this year, and if you go down here, and what's the line here tonight? It's 7. So let's take a look at the favorites. Favorite 7, 58.2. Maybe it's road home favorites. Crap, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Maybe I was looking at the wrong column. 38.6. What was the number here? Yeah, I was looking at the wrong column, I think. All right. The league average. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I know what I did. So the league average is 85.2 of the Rams winning the game straight up compared to 80% for the Rams. So the Rams, out of the all the other teams that are in the forecast system, so any NFL team that's in the same situation that the Rams are in tonight, if you look right here, Rams 7 minus 46.5, and if you click on it, when any NFL team's a 7 to 10 point home favorite, totals between 45.5 to 47 or 44.5 to 7, coming off 2 straight up wins, 2 ATS wins. Look at all these games right here. We got 25 games. They are straight up. They are 80% chance of winning compared to 85 on the league average this season. So if you look at the NFL teams this year, 85.2% chance of winning, and they covered a spread at 58.8%. So that's a big, big difference on the any NFL home teams this year, or favorites, sorry. Let me see home favorites. Yeah, look at that. Home favorites this year, minus 7 to minus 9.5, 17-3 straight up, and 60% covering the spread. But this is, wow, that's a pretty amazing number right there. Only 3 teams lost as a 7 to 9.5 point favorite this year, and 80% chance of winning for the Rams, but only 36% chance of covering. That's huge. That is huge. When you compare this number and that number, we're talking almost like 40-some%, right? And then when you look at the Eagles, 68.5% chance of winning, but only a 49.4% chance of covering. And this is why I say, when you look at this number on the chances of winning the game straight up compared to the league average this season of teams having only a 50-50 chance of covering the spread, right? You got to really rethink your strategy on the win percentage. You want a 49% chance of winning, or you want a 68 and an 80%, right? That's the way I started looking at things now. All right, so just to recap, so all these teams here, chance of winning: New York 75, Miami 37, Indiana 50, Portland 40%, New Orleans 48.1, Dallas, the Mavericks 63.3, Minnesota 35.7, and in Phoenix 76.1% chance of winning compared to the Lakers have a 20. Philly 62.8% chance, the Flyers compared to 53.5 for Washington, and then Tampa Bay 60%, Vegas 53, and we just went through this one, 68.5 for the Eagles, 35.5 for Washington, and 80-33 for the Rams and the Seahawks. All right, you can get this here right now at ATS. This is a free feature that we're offering, and again, I'll update this after the show is over. But you know what? It's something, in sports betting, in investing, you got to do your research, and you got to understand why you're betting into something, and go follow the numbers, right? Follow the numbers. I know there's a lot of shows that, follow the numbers or, follow the money and all that stuff. But you really got to research your stuff and be part of the market, right? If you don't know what's going on in the market, and, who would have known that teams that were 7.5 to 9 point home favorites this year were 85%? Hands up, eh? Not too many hands are up right now. But, all right, the site says 283 money line covers 63 of the time. Justify that. Ron system showed that teams are winning 85 in that position. So New York is a money line good bet. All right, so that's this is the crunching of the numbers here, right? So what else we got on show here today? All right, let's go to the game. We'll do the first rain report. How we doing on time? 45 minutes, not bad. All right, let's go to the rain report. The game of the day I picked was the Seahawks and the Rams. We'll look at this game first. Then we'll do Lightning's Golden Knights and Suns Lakers. So looking at the game tonight, the Tuesday night football, I'm not used to saying that, right? The Rams a 7-point favorite. The over/under at 46.5. ATS forecast, computer pick based on 16 previous games in the database. Likes the Rams to win tonight, 29-20. The over/under at 49.3. The Rams in the last 5 games, 2-3 straight up and against the number, 2-3 to the under. Where the Seahawks are 2-3 straight up and against the point spread, 2-3 to the under. So you combine that together, that's 60% of the games have gone under the total for both these teams. And we did the value index here, minus 0.9, and you're getting 7. So you're getting good value on the Seahawks, and almost fair market value here on the Rams, minus 5.6, and you're laying 7. So a bit overvalued here tonight. And looking at the LA Rams this year against A-type teams at home, 3-0 straight up, 2-1 against the number, and 1-2 to the under. Now, the Rams at home this year, 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the number, 3-3 to the over/under. Where the Seattle Seahawks, 3-4 on the road straight up, 4-3 against the point spread, and 2-5 to the under. So maybe the unders might be worth a look here today. Now, the home favorites on 7 days rest are 7-2 straight up, but 4-5 against the point spread, and 5-4 to the over/under. And we haven't had a road underdog on 8 days rest this year. All right, so the other numbers that we're going to take a look at here. The last time these two teams met was October 7th, 2021. It was a 26-17 win in Seattle, and for the Rams. So the Rams, nice little win right there by 9 points. And let's take a look at some of the under numbers down here. The last 3 seasons when Seattle's on the road against a conference opponent, 6-12 to the under. And a lot of unders, right? I'm starting to lean under the total here tonight. I really like the under, especially when you get division matchups, right? When you get division games. Look at the Rams at home against conference opponent the last 3 years, 5-11 to the under. As a home team, the last 3 seasons, 6-16 to the under. And coming off a 1-game road stand, 2-10 in their next game. But I do like the under tonight between the Rams and the Seahawks. All right, let's go to the next game. We'll take a look at the Lightning in the rain report and the Vegas Golden Knights. And if you have any questions, just post them out there. All right, let's go to Vegas against Tampa Bay. Now, again, let me take a look at the lineup here tonight for the Lightning. Chernak's out. Yeah, Kucherov's been out all year. Braden Point still out. Jamel Smith. And Mark Stone, game time decision. What's wrong with Stoney? Undisclosed. All right. Let me see here. Leighton Ayak, Bischoff, Jack Eichel, Martinez, Patrick. So The only really one that I'm concerned about is Mark Stone, right? Mark Stone's a big piece to that, him and Patriotti, and Marchessault too. But Robin Leonard expected to go for Vegas. He's 14-9, 3.03 goal against average. Keep wanting to say ERA. I don't know why. And Vasilevsky, 16-4, 2.10 goals against average, ERA. I'm in baseball mode. All right, 3.03 to 2.65 is the computer pick. No, excuse me. 100 out of 102 games, previous games. 120 is the line here on the Vegas Golden Knights. And, when you get a game like this, that's very much even when you look at the talent, I always tend to look at the goaltenders, right? And right now, to me, with Tampa Bay, with Vasilevsky, that's the edge I can see, right? I think from a standpoint of, let's go look at the last 3 games of both these teams, goals for and against. Just see if they're Tampa Bay's, look at that. 1.67 goals against and 4 for Vegas. Now, Vegas coming off a long road trip, right? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-game road trip. 4-1 against the Bruins. 5-3, 3-2. What a great road trip. This was a really good road trip for the Vegas Golden Knights. Tampa Bay, 2-1 win over the Sens. 3-2 win over the Kings. 4-0 against Ottawa. 5-3. So Tampa Bay, feeling good too. Here's the thing. You're getting great value on Tampa Bay with a good goaltender. The only problem is they're not scoring goals right now. If you look at their last 5 games, 2.6 goals against average compared to 4.4. But what goes up must come down, right? And sometimes it's strictly a percentage play, and I'll have to take a look at my positional timing chart on this game here. But early lean towards Tampa Bay in the under. That's where I'd have to lean on that game. All right, let's take a look at the NBA report, and let's go to the game between the Phoenix Suns and the LA Lakers. So let's go here. Phoenix and the Lakers. Sniper, where can we find the chart that showed how teams do in certain positions? So if you go under tools and go to ATS League standings, that's where you'll find the situational standings right here. Tools, ATS League standings right there. Phoenix Suns -7, 223 is the total in this game. 101-98. So we do like the Suns to win, but not cover. Phoenix in the last 10 games, 8-2 straight up, 6-4 against the numbers, 4-6 to the under. Where the LA Lakers are 6-4 straight up, 5-4-1 to the point spread, 3-7 to the under. Our line on the game we already went through, -6.9, 0.9. So good, good value on the Lakers, fair market value on the Phoenix Suns. Suns on a 3-game straight up ATS win streak, while the Lakers on a 2-game losing streak. But keep in mind, Lakers coming off 2 road trips? No, 1 road trip. 2, 3. Dallas, Timberwolves, and the Bulls. So they lost to the Bulls, and then they lost to the Timberwolves. But they beat the Mavericks. Remember that Reeves with that 3-pointer in overtime? That was a nice win. So the Lakers not coming in really hot, right? No AD. Phoenix, to me, is the play, but I don't know. Do I want to lay 7 points? I don't know if I want to lay 7 points. Phoenix on the road this year, 10-3 straight up, 7-6 against the point spread, where the Lakers are 10-7, 6-11. And NBA home teams that are 6.5 to 9-point home dogs this year, look at their straight up record, 3-14, while the NBA road teams of 6.5 to 9 road favorites on 1 day's rest, 21-5 straight up, 14-11-1 against the point spread, 14-10. You know what? If I was to play this game, I'd probably lean towards the over. I probably have a lean towards the over. Let me take a look at the Lakers numbers here. 6-4 versus conference opponent to the over, 7-4 off 1 day's rest. Teams this season NBA coming off a 5-point loss, 6-4 to the over. And last 45 days at the Crypto.com arena, 7-3 to the over. So I do like the over in the Lakers, and if I had to play that, that's probably where I'd lean. I'd probably lean towards the Lakers and over. All right, let me go to the next thing on deck. All right, my timing chart. So this is my STP, situational timing position of teams. So we'll do the NBA first, and I'll give you, and what I do in this segment is I tell, I let you know if this is a good spot for these teams to bet, right? Is this a good spot to bet on Detroit, New York? And right off the bat, when I look at these two teams, they're both bearish, right? So these teams are in a bad cycle. Confidence levels very low, 28-14. The market values plus 250 overall. So this is like the macro environment. This is the daily. So when from an overall perspective, if I'm going to buy the Pistons on the market, I'd put them at plus 250 and the Knicks at plus 160. The daily market value index right here is plus, so they're overvalued. So the Knicks are overvalued, but you got a C-type team against another C-type team, and I don't think Here's the thing: you're asking two bad teams to do good things, right? And the New York Knicks with Barrett, he's still a game time decision, and the Pistons coming off a win in their last game, right? Didn't they beat like the Clippers or Miami or something like that? Didn't they? Let me take a look here, NBA. Actually, you know what? Let me go here. It'll be quicker this way. So the Pistons, Miami Heat. Yeah, but Miami's injured, right? A lot of injuries. So right here, you got a C on C. You got two bearish teams. Maybe Detroit is the team here. Now, here's the thing I like. You got two neutral teams here in Indiana against Miami. So again, situational timing and the position of these teams in the market right now. You got a B against a C, but you got a B team that's very depleted now in the Miami Heat, who are a home underdog, right? When do you see Miami as a home underdog? You don't see them as a home underdog a lot. Home underdogs, yeah, that's a tough one right there. Minus 160, neutral against a neutral. Indiana, but you got a C-type team against a B-type team right here. And probably have to lean. Let me see here. Pistons coming off a win over Detroit, 13-8. And I'd have to... So the thing I want to do with this chart is I don't want to be influenced by the records, right? I want to be influenced by the situational position of the teams, and without being influenced by their home record, but because this will tell me their overall record, right? So you got a B against a C. So without using all the other information, just the timing, right? Is the timing right to bet Miami or Indiana? So you got a neutral team, 1.5, basically a pick 'em line, right? So I think Indiana would be a good value play here against Miami. Portland against New Orleans, a C against a C. Neutral against a bearish, 57%. The timing, you got C on C. I like New Orleans in this spot here. Minnesota, Dallas, from a timing position, right? Is the timing right in the market to bet New Orleans? Neutral against, a bearish team. 5.28 is the line that I had. Plus 528, so they're overvalued. So I do like New Orleans. Minnesota against Dallas, a B versus a C. So you got a team with a 50 to 59.9% win percentage against a team below 500. At home, though, keep in mind they're at home. Neutral against neutral. Probably have a lean towards Minnesota. And then I do like the Phoenix Suns here. I think the Lakers without AD, I think it's going to be a tough spot. And you got a Phoenix Suns who's bullish right now, right? They're a bit bullish, 71%, which is, if it would have been 85%, I probably would lean towards the Lakers. But since it's only 71, I'm probably going to lean with the timing. Now, when I do this when I do this segment, I'm talking about the timing and the positional, situational timing of these teams, right? So I think the timing is probably a good time in the market to bet Phoenix, Minnesota, New Orleans, Indiana, and the what did I say here? Detroit? Yeah, I think Detroit. All right, so let's go to NHL and take a look at the two situational timings of these teams. And take a look here. Washington against Philly. You got a B against a C, 170 market value, neutral against a neutral. I just don't trust Washington on the road, though. I think they're in a good spot, but I just think Philly, when I look at Philly games, I don't see team confidence, and they're very sporadic. They don't play 60 minutes. The goaltending's an issue. The best player on the ice is number 8 for Washington. I just, in the B-type team, right? If I had to boil down, I think, Washington, and the line opened up at 135, now 141. I think, from a positional timing, maybe that Washington would be my lean here. And the other game, you got A against an A, minus 250, minus 240, bullish against bullish. Yeah, I'd have to lean towards Tampa Bay on value, just basically on value, right? So those are my selections right there for tonight. All right, what do we got here? Let's go to the computer picks. Now here, what I'm going to do in this segment, you guys have any questions about any teams you want me to bring up, let me know. I'll do the 2 NFL games. Let me do the 2 NFL games. So I'll do the Washington against, how are we doing on time here? 56, all right. Washington against Philadelphia. I think the computer is right with the low total. Plant base. I think Pacers make a statement tonight and a blowout in Miami. Yeah, you know what? I think it's a good situational timing place for the Pacers. I think the bookmakers will expect people to go under without Butler, says Johnny Peresco. Miami has been pretty good over team this year, says Isaiah. Even without Butler, I think it's too low. And yeah, all right, good feedback. So tonight we like the Eagles 5.5, the over/under at 42.3, and in the next game we have Seattle against the Rams. Seattle against the Rams, and we like wow, look at that, 0.36, 45.5. So it does favor Seattle on the point spread. Oh, Chargers. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Wow. All right, sometimes I got to do a double take here because sometimes it gets mixed up. All right, so yeah, that's much better. 3.49, not that much better. 3.49 for the Rams, but 41.1. Yeah, I do like the under. I do like the under in the Rams-Seattle tonight. Now, let's take a look at the NBA. I'll take a look at Phoenix against the Lakers. Phoenix against the Lakers. Survey says... All right, survey says we got 7.2 for Phoenix right there on the line, and 220.05. And what's the line on that game tonight? 220.05. So 223. So it likes the under. Wow, it's going under. Okay. All right. So I saw a request. Somebody asked me to do Wyoming against Kent State in college basketball. All right. So let me go Kent State. Kent State against Wyoming. You know, Wyoming, I followed them for about 4 weeks, and man, they struggled on offense a lot. So a very sporadic Cowboys team this year. All right, so we got Wyoming winning 3.38 to 56.7. And let's see what the computer pick has here. Today's computer pick on that game. We have 29 to 29. Wow, look at that. 29.9, 29.3, and 59.6. What's the total? 59.5, and the computer has 56. So it likes the under. Thanks for those pearls. Loving the Bills hoodie, Ron, says plant base. Yeah, Bills Mafia. All right. And we'll do the last one here. I'll do NHL. I'll do Tampa Bay. And this is what I'm going to do every day. The teams that I just talk about, I'll finish off with the calculator. And Tampa Bay. That site is massive. Yeah, it is massive. Oh, hang on. Tampa Bay against Tampa Bay? No. Let's go Vegas. And home team, 0.03, 6.15. So it likes it. What's the total in that game tonight in the NHL? Total in that game between the Lightning and the Vegas Golden Knights. Survey says 5.5. So it likes it to go over, and we have it over right there. So yeah, maybe the over might be worth a look, but Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky's in nets, right? And Leonard, two good goaltenders. I don't know if I want to go over there, but I do like Tampa Bay. I do like Tampa Bay in this one. All right, let me go here. Hockeypicks.com. So Gloria K asks Washington and Eagles again. All right, Washington and Eagles. Washington against Eagles. I think it was 5 point something for Philly, right? 5.52 for the Eagles, 42.38. All right, so here's hockeypicks.com. So anybody can play here. Just go to hockeypicks.com. And right now I'm going to have an early lean on Washington at 55%. And I'm going to go with Tampa Bay at 52. I'm going to go. And that's because Vegas coming off that long extended road trip. Those are my two NHL plays here tonight. NBA. So here's what I like so far in the NBA. I like Indiana, 53%. I like the Knicks, 56%. I'm gonna go Pelicans, 53%. I'm gonna go Minnesota, 52%. 53% is good. And I'm gonna go Phoenix, 56%. And those are my leans tonight on the on basketball. All right, there you have it. Those are my selections each and every day. You can get them right here at atsstats.com or Hockey Picks or B-Ball Picks. Just look for most followed, look for Ronnie Ray, and those are my selections. All right, if you like the show, again, just hit that like button. If you like the new format, please let me know. And again, I'm going to do the other videos for the computer picks, which will be in the YouTube channel. And so I just feel this show now is more meat and potatoes, right? Where before it was just more, fluff with all the computer picks. But I just feel like getting more in depth into the numbers and really looking at the situational timing of the markets. I feel you get a better idea when is a good time to bet on these teams. And if you've been using this chart, anytime you get yellow on yellow, tells you it's a good time to bet on those teams, right? From a timing perspective. Whenever you get a green on, every time you get a green on red or pink, it just tells you one team is super hot and one team is super cold. And those are, from a market perspective and betting on those teams, that's high risk, right? High risk, high rewards. But normally these green teams against these lower risk teams, or like a green versus a red, normally the red, the percentage play of you winning that bet is not that great, right? So, anyways, let me know if you enjoy this new format. Post comments. If you guys can post some comments into the chat below, it'd be much appreciated. And I'll be back here tomorrow on a Hump Day Wednesday with more of the same. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Wednesday or Tuesday, Ruby Tuesday. Today is December 21st, and I'll be going right up until Thursday, taking Christmas Eve off and the weekend, and I'll be back next week. But I'm gonna go up till Thursday, and then next week we'll be talking about it. All right, thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. Great job today. And again, I think this is a better format to go, and it's more more number crunching, and not just number crunching, right? Market psychology, market timing, and blah blah blah. All right, hey, sunny side up pearls. Hey, I like that. And on that note, that's a walk off. Hey, Gloria K, dropped the mic. That's a great sunny side up pearls. I like that. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back mañana. Hasta la vista, baby. See you mañana. Cheers.